She's not just a homegirl anymore. She's a businesswoman. Let's chat with Rashan Ali.
Hey out there, it's Lauren Powers, business and marketing coach, sharing stories of bad entrepreneurs turned profitable business owners and how you can learn from our stories to help you grow in your own business. These are real stories, y'all, so it's gonna get real spicy. Pull up, let's get it.
Rashan Ali's here.
Hi, Lauren.
Hi, Princess. Sister.
I know.
Boss lady, y'all. Rashan Ali is in the studio today, and she's known in Atlanta for being everybody's homegirl.
That's right.
You know, I remember when I was in college.
Oh, God.
Oh, you know, I don't want to date myself.
I grew up listening to her.
I grew up with You said it.
Yes.
Yeah, but, okay, so before we get started on today's episode, I always like to set an intention.
Okay.
So my intention for our time together is laughter.
Yeah.
And fun.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
And I want us to even speak that over our businesses this week, that we enjoy running our businesses
Yes.
this week, that we have a little bit of fun and make a little bit of money. Is that
How about
cool?
that? That sounds good.
Is that cool? Okay, Rashan, catch us up, girl.
Oh, I mean, where do we start?
Okay, let's start from your early days. So,
Yeah.
you know, on this show, we're talking about our businesses. Your business is your brand.
Yes.
Your personality.
Yes.
And I think started in radio, right? And it's now evolved into this empire.
Yeah, I guess
we
so.
Google you and stuff now. So, you know, tell me, what was it like in the radio?
Oh, I love radio. I think for me, radio will always be my foundation. It is where I grew the most, where I experienced so much, you know, in my life, both personally and professionally, and it gave me the groundwork that I needed to really be able to kind of catapult my career after my time in radio. Radio is such a great foundation for anybody that wants to continue, obviously in radio, but then to transition out into television, all these different things. But radio still has my heart. I know radio has, you know, is different now, and so many people are doing what we're doing in the podcasting world. So the landscape of radio is a little bit different, but I still love it. I'm still one of those people that punches up and down the dial when I'm taking my kids to school. I have my favorite, you know, favorite segments. Yeah, my favorite morning shows and favorite segments per show too. I know the clock, so I'm literally feeling like I'm in the studio. Like, they about to play the top of the hour. Okay, they're gonna go to this one. All right, they're gonna have a traffic break here. Okay, here comes the entertainment. You know, and so I still love the art of radio. I still love it.
What do you think is, like, I guess, the one critical skill or whatever that you've been able to take through every part of your career? Radio was your foundation.
Oh, my interviewing skills.
Oh, girl, yeah, I forgot you know how to talk.
Oh, yes,
So,
yes.
Y'all don't know the Cool Story podcast.
Yes.
When do you release? What?
So
day?
it's, you know, I have now I'm doing seasons. Like when I first started the podcast in 2016, I was doing them twice a week for a very long time.
Oh, you were doing twice a week?
I was doing 2 shows a week.
Girl, I'm struggling doing once a week. Honey.
It's okay. Tuesdays and Thursdays. And now, since, you know, my career has changed and morphed into something completely different, I do it when I'm ready, and I do it in seasons. And so we just recorded my next season, which hopefully probably in June is when we'll release. So I don't really have a calendar when I feel like it, and when, you know, when I get the motivation to release.
And we're talking about that stuff today.
Yeah.
You know, like, just sometimes, you know, business owners, especially when we're doing all the things, it's easy to get stuck and not hit the post button or not hit the email. I am
that. It's a struggle every day.
Sharing this.
Yeah, I won't say struggle because I don't want to give it a bad connotation, but there is something that you got to push through those moments. And sometimes you got to sit in it too, because we are still very human.
So how has that grind been like, or the hustle, or whatever you want to call it? Because radio ain't easy.
It's not.
Getting on TV, getting your own show, which we'll get to that point in a second. But what was that grind like, that momentum when you were really on the up, you still going up,
right? I just think it's the hustle and the flow. I believe in things coming to you.
Second,
you know, right? You like that? Ding, 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 ding. It's the hustle and the flow.
Yeah.
You know, this society teaches us you gotta go, you gotta go, you gotta get it, you gotta get it, you gotta go. But then you're like, I'm moving all the time. There's no time for rest.
Just sit and enjoy it.
Right. And then you hear about the path of least resistance and the flow. And then if you're in alignment, or if things will continue to fall. So I think I have a good mixture of both.
Yeah.
But I've leaned more into the flow
Yeah.
And, you know, literally like recently in my journey. So I say the hustle and the flow. I always tell people too, the blessing is in the movement.
Talk to us. Wait a
The blessing is in the movement.
Okay.
I don't stop.
Okay.
I don't stop, meaning I do take time to rest.
Sure.
But I'm always gifted or driving for something else. And it may not look like what I had just done. I hear people all the time like, girl, you could constantly reinventing yourself. And I'm just like,
are you? Do you really feel like you've been reinventing yourself? Like, I feel like you've still been Rashan at the core.
Right.
You know,
I
as
think
an outsider.
I think when people say reinventing myself, I'm never like, it's never like, oh, she stayed in radio.
Yeah.
You know, okay, she did Atlanta and then she moved to New York but she stayed in radio. I transitioned into television, transitioned into sideline reporting and anchoring for CNN Sports and like all of these different things. And now I have a national commercial out right now.
Ooh, she didn't just drop some on y'all, did she?
With Rocket Mortgage.
Ew, not Rocket Mortgage.
Rocket Mortgage. Just ding, 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 ding. Yes, it's running now. And so I've gotten into the commercial space and coming off of a campaign with Metamucil and doing voiceover work for Home Depot and like really like in a different space, but also acting. I just feel like the universe, God, source, has really given me so many gifts.
How can you just stick with one thing? Let's talk about that for a second, though, because I know I used to kind of get made fun of and may even still to this day because I always have my hand in different pots.
What's wrong with that?
And I've always enjoyed it. So, there's a part of like, being a better business owner and knowing
Stick
how to
to one thing.
Yeah, there's that niche down, get real specific, which I still believe in. But I've always enjoyed my ability to create different income streams. They weren't all great, but I just enjoyed having that space where, if I want to sell T-shirts, I'm going to sell T-shirts.
Yeah.
If I want to be an MC, which I am, I'll be an MC. But sometimes people put a negative connotation to that.
Right. And what I say to those people is that it's not their lives.
Okay.
It's your life. And however you want to wake up, and I hosted an event for the Atlanta Dream the other night, right after I got off set from my podcast that I had recorded 3 episodes for that day.
You're not burned out, are you? I said you're not burned out, right?
We're vacationing.
You have some white space.
Oh, I absolutely
Meditate.
do. Yeah, I'm getting, and that's the thing. So the space that I'm in right now, and I talked about it on my show, is like just trying to, like, sometimes when you're a little disconnected from your spiritual grounding, and I'm just trying to get back into
grounded.
Yeah, and I went back to my therapist. She met me in the office for the first time since the pandemic, which was great, and literally sitting on the couch just trying to figure out like how I get back. And I think sometimes we put so much pressure on yourself that it's supposed to look a certain way.
Oh yeah,
And I'm like, Rashan, you're really a nice person. That's serving God.
It is.
You know what I mean? Like you woke up and you did.
Yes.
You woke up and you said thank you.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're like, well, I need the Palo Santo sticks and I need everything. I need all the things
on the altar.
Yes, right.
African ancestors.
Yes. So it's the pressure it's the self pressure. But still wanting to feel like I'm a little bit more spiritually connected. So there are phases in life, which I think is beautiful. It's the yin and the yang, it's the good and the bad, or it's the bad or indifferent. And I think
and the flow.
The hustle and the flow. And I don't think that we would appreciate when we're in that magical space if we didn't know the difference. Yeah.
And all the different things that I don't know if you would be able to have the Rocket Mortgage commercial if you didn't have radio.
Exactly.
And, back when you were doing sideline interviewing. And, like, you were in radio for how long? 10 years?
I was I would say a total of 12 because I took a couple of, I was, fired. Yeah. 3 times.
Oh,
so there was, some time in between. That was just all of the things. No, I mean, people moving on to different morning shows, syndicate. Sure. Yeah, I got released from my morning show twice on 2 different stations, but replaced by syndicated morning show, the Ricky Smiley morning show and the Breakfast Club. So I was the local show prior to those shows coming.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Because, a lot of us have our identities wrapped up in our businesses, right? You are your business.
Right.
So there's no way you can separate your identity from unless you're just like a completely different person on set.
Yeah.
How, like, that hurts your feelings.
Oh, my God,
like,
yes.
How did that feel, and how did you even, like, recover? Because
That was nothing but the grace of God, and really having those moments in your closet like, man, because the first time I let go was from Radio 1. I was pregnant with Carter, my second daughter. She's 13 now. I was pregnant with her, 7 months pregnant. And we had billboards all over the city. Like, I used to see myself on I-20, see myself on MARTA buses and at bus stations. Like, there's Rashan with the spiky hair, my Paula's Perfect Pixie, like right there, and then you literally get let go. And you're like, wow, my life changed. Yeah. And they let you do your whole shift and then fire you.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
Could you come to our office as soon as you get off?
After you gave the show of your life.
Right. Pregnant. So yeah, that is very tough. I have moments all the time. Yeah. Then it happening at 94.5, and then it happening at V103. So it happened at V first, and then 94.5. So
and you kept pushing through.
I mean, what am I gonna do? I'm not gonna lose.
This is true. I know that's tough, girl.
Yeah, but I do have my moments, and I do have those. It could have been months, but nobody saw it, and nobody experienced it, obviously, but myself, and of course my husband. And I remember the last time I got let go, Bailey, who's now about to be a senior, crazy. I know. She was like, I said, guys, I have to tell you something. I'm no longer working at Streets 94. She said, you got fired again. I said,
Bailey. That's on Bailey. Dang, Bailey.
I had to sit my little while on that one.
Dang, Bailey. Mm-hmm. Okay, so out of you being fired, you reinventing, rediscovering different parts of yourself, so you can kind of move on to the next evolution. What was after radio? What was the next evolutionary step for you?
While I was in radio, I was the inter-arena sideline reporter for the Atlanta Hawks.
We all remember that. At least I do.
Right.
You were always on the sideline.
Yeah.
Looking cute, perfect.
Thank you.
Pixie, whole thing.
Yes. So, the transition of, I always knew television was the goal. Mm-hmm. So I was doing both kind of at the same time, especially once I got my footing in radio. You had an opportunity to do that, and then NBA TV gave me an opportunity to be over there. So I've done some shows over there. I've done some highlights over there. I've worked there a lot as a freelancer. So when radio was over, I remember being let go from Streets and literally almost I was doing Atlanta and Company too. Oh my God.
Oh wow, on TV.
On 11 Alive. When I was on Street. So I would leave the morning show
and then go to
11 Alive, which was great because I was on radio and TV at the same time. Mm-hmm. So when that happened, I focused on Atlanta and Company, and then got pinged for an audition for CNN for Headline News the Weekend, being a weekend sports anchor.
Yes.
So then it just I was like, I'm all good. But I feel like when you stand in alignment and when you're a good person, when you stand in alignment,
that's what, the good things are supposed to happen.
That's right.
So I do understand, the hustle and burnout and, managing and juggling different things. But I honestly, and this is for business owners, y'all, whether it's your personality or not, you should enjoy the process. Mm-hmm. The process, I think, should be fulfilling. It should be rewarding. You should be, learning your best qualities and traits of yourself. I hate it when people are kind of on the hamster wheel doing 800 things and none of it is rewarding.
Yeah.
But you had a great intersection of both TV and radio.
Yes.
And then we got the show, right?
Right. And in between there too, even when I was at Streets, I was flying out, doing sideline reporting for CBS Sports Network. So I would, I've been working.
What? We need a timeline.
Hey, why don't you pat my back?
I mean, I'm gonna just knock a little dust off of that.
Pat my back.
Pretty bad too.
Appreciate it, boo, man. You helped form this bag too. Boy, should have been working. So I was flying CBS Sports Network, flying out. Yes, and I didn't do SEC and ACC schools, so we went to smaller schools. We were in Arkadelphia, Arkansas, small schools, but it was so great because we're bringing this big production to these smaller schools. So the energy was so good. I remember I was at Azusa Pacific College in California. It's right outside of LA. It's in Azusa, California. But that school reminded me of the schools, the small white schools we used to watch on TV back in the day when everybody's playing volleyball at night, and it's bonfires, and I'm like, man, this is cool.
That's so cool.
And literally being able to report on the sidelines for that. Like, I've had a wealth of experiences.
Yeah, your CV is long.
Man, that thing long.
With a bunch of stations.
Yeah.
And still remaining true to yourself. Like, at the
always.
core, I'm like, reinventing,
Right.
I see you just as you have so many different facets of yourself. But at the core, you interview very well. You connect with people very well. You light up a room,
Thank you.
And I've loved seeing this evolution.
Thank you.
Because I've been watching you since I was 2.
Oh, my God.
Since I was actually.
She telling your real age. Yeah. So you went back to Sister Circle. Sister Circle was life-changing for me.
Me too.
Yeah, right, exactly. That's so cool, right?
Sis on.
Sis on.
That's when I got that taste.
And that's when you, listen, when people get an opportunity, it's not about being at the table by yourself. Mm-hmm. I knew as soon as I got an opportunity to be on that show, I was like, I'm bringing my hairstylist, I'm bringing my wardrobe stylist,
my dermatologist.
I'm bringing my dermatologist, and I'm bringing my trainer. And literally,
y'all.
Everybody was on the show, but that is what you are supposed to do.
Mm-hmm. You was in your zone.
Yeah,
girl.
But that's when I learned how to really be Rashan. You said you've always had this, you've had that.
Yeah, but
radio Rashan didn't really translate to television Rashan. Like, people love, like, I was like turn, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm hot, like, people love me. Mm-hmm. But when I got to, before Sister Circle started, Helen Swenson is a white woman. And she created Sister Circle. And I remember her interviewing me. She had gotten my reel. She took me out to breakfast. She said, let's meet. She's a longtime television executive. And she was like, you're real.
Come on.
And I was
was her name Helen Swanson?
Helen Swenson. I was like, she's like, I don't really know who you are. Mind you, I had stuff on there from CNN. I was hosting a show for Under Armour highlights of the week. I was doing my reel had me doing an interview. I mean, on the CNN table with Frederica Whitfield, like everybody, right?
Yeah.
She's like, I don't know who you are, and that was the first time somebody had ever like told me that it wasn't that great. She said, I can't. Who are you? But then it made me look at myself in a different way. I was trying to be the black version of Erin Andrews.
Were you really? You really fit? Wow, Rashan, that is so introspective.
Yeah, I was trying to be. I was trying to be a black version of what I saw white women doing in sports and all those. But Sister Circle,
that was you. That was you.
The way.
That was absolutely you. That was you. I always see you as being authentic because I know you personally, but you were true to yourself.
True.
The way you kiki and chit chat,
but then kept it professional because I had to run the show and moderate the show. But yeah, that was so great for my personal development and my professional development. Yeah. It literally changed me.
Yeah, and it changed me too.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, like, you guys are part of my story.
Yeah,
because I grew up with a mother that was in radio, TV, so I was always around it. I always knew how to like control myself, but being on a live set, doing a live thing on live TV, that is like an opportunity of a lifetime, and to have that consistently. Yeah. Where I'm like learning how to look at different cue cards. You're thinking on the fly. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, Escape is right there.
Right.
And the
SWV
you see is right there.
Right.
Like it was so magical. And from that gave me courage, confidence, a reel.
Yes.
I started getting booked for other things, pushed me out of coaching, out of training.
Yes.
I was on the show.
To talk about training.
Talk about fitness.
But yeah, the camera loved you and you were so, listen, there were a lot of people that were one and done on our show.
Oh, I know.
That just didn't work out. You didn't have the camera presence, didn't really, but you were so engaging. And obviously we had a rapport because you literally always talk about how you had me so physically prepared and like for Sister Circle. Because when they were trying to shop the pilot, I was like, why they shopping this pilot? Let's get fine.
Let's get snatched.
So she had me so beautifully snatched. So everybody saw the result of your work already.
Oh, man.
So I was like, I got the perfect person.
Listen, we used to have so much fun because you never knew what exercises what it would be. So it'd be like just holding the plank.
Right.
While I'm over here talking and it'd be like,
right.
Hey, Lauren.
I'm here.
I'm still down here.
Yeah.
That was some of just the best times. And
it was.
You elevated your profile, elevated a lot of people that you brought around us.
Yes.
And I know, again, this is another situation where something ended.
Yes. So when the pandemic hit, you know, everybody's scrambling. Nobody knows what the world is going to look like in a month, let alone fast forward. This thing happened, you know, it stretched out for 2.5 years.
Exactly.
So we were doing some stuff online, and I knew we were already on. We were like right there.
Yeah.
We were like they you know, they liked us, but they really didn't like us. We fulfilled the you know, kind of that diversity thing. And it wasn't TV One. Everybody thinks that it was TV One. It was the production company where we're kind of filling a void. We had some great moments, but it didn't pick
up like we wanted it to.
Right, exactly.
A whole lot of content.
It was a whole lot of content. Yeah. We didn't get breaks. We didn't have hiatuses like most talk shows. We were still operating on our pilot contract.
So
we never
we had 3 years, was it, or 4?
3. It was 3. We were never able to renegotiate our pilot contract. So we were working on pilot contracts. They did not allow us to renegotiate our deals.
Wow.
So you're talking about people being overworked, severely underpaid. Our staff was severely underpaid.
For the output?
For the output, yes.
Man,
it's constant. It's content and constant. But I'm glad that gave me so many reps. So many reps. I loved it.
Can we stop there for a second?
Yes.
I talk about reps all the time, and the listeners our listeners don't necessarily, they're not personalities and entertainers. I do have a few of those, but you know, oh my gosh, everything that you just said was just so spot on for entrepreneurs that are feeling stuck and doors closed, or how do I get myself out of this? It's the same.
It's very real.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So you built up this empire. But I really thought the show really was an empire. It's like you guys are just owning this time of day. You guys all look pretty, you know, and when it comes to an end, do you feel like you're just supposed to quit? Do you supposed to hang up the towel?
Yeah.
How do you keep going?
Well, I gave myself 24 hours to be sad. And I remember I was in during COVID, you had like a certain group of people that you hung with. So I hung with the
bubbles.
Yeah, the bubble. Everybody had bubbles. So I was with my line sister, Caroline, and then my neighbor, Lynn. And we were in my kitchen. I was cooking. It just happened that day because when I found out, we were all like working out at the school down the street. And I remember a song by her came on, and it was like, sometimes it don't go your way. I broke out crying like, Jesus, you're talking about But then after that, I was like, yeah, I'm good. I was actually tired. I was actually ready to move on, but didn't know how.
Yeah.
And I was tired of carrying so much of the load on the show and then trying to keep everybody's spirits up behind the scenes. The behind the scenes was really more exhausting. It was more exhaustive than anything. Just trying to.
Owners, are y'all listening to what Rashan's dropping here? Because it's completely parallel.
Yeah.
We have, when I was running the gym, big business, but behind the scenes, a level of effort to keep that thing running, that engine running.
Yes.
Like, it's another job.
Right. So once I realized I didn't have to do that, really giving of yourself in a way that you're like, man, I'm about to be completely depleted here.
Yeah.
By trying to make everybody else feel good. It's the cancer in me. It's the maternal instinct in me. It's I want a beautiful environment for myself. So I'm willing to risk, like, seeing how you feel or trying to cater to your mood that day.
Yeah.
And it was self-imposed. Nobody asked me to do that. But there was a point where I was like, I ain't doing it no more. And then I had gotten tired of like trying to carry that. And nobody really knew. They knew that I was just trying to stay positive. But it was killing me. And so I was very glad that the show was over at that point so that I didn't have to kill myself.
That's a serious thing, y'all. Like, we're talking
not
very...
kill myself literally, guys.
But we're talking very, very light. But like to not go crazy.
Yeah, because I was feeling that way.
You were just... That is not the multiple hats we want to wear when we're literally like, oh my God, I don't want to do this anymore. Oh my God, I'm going crazy. So you had a moment to, again, take a breath. Hopefully Bailey didn't say, girl, you got fired again.
But I love the fact that my girls have gotten to see the ups and downs, of the entertainment space,
real life,
the media space,
real life,
and just life in general. Sometimes things are not going to go your way.
Yeah.
How are you going to get back up? But what they have seen and what they've been able to, the resiliency, and my mama gonna work hard, and now they get to, now they don't even know what it's like to sit in a regular seat at the Hawks game.
See, because they went their feet on the floor. Who doesn't sit courtside?
It's not that. sales, but we have,
bougie sales.
We're able to give them a type of experience just because of how hard I've worked.
Yeah.
And then the things that come with it, obviously.
And so I love that they get to see this too, because a lot of us don't have good I'll say, certain generations of people, of adults, we don't have good experiences watching our parents do well in business or their personal endeavors. We watch them struggle, and because some of us are maybe old school or baby boomers, we never really had conversations.
We did not.
With our parents about their ups and downs. I don't know if I even saw them as like human for real. Like my dad had a couple of businesses that failed. We never talked about that or how he had made him feel, or, I just, saw resilience. But at the same time, I know you have conversations with your daughters, and they get to see you at work.
They do.
They've been on the show. They because you used to have to get up early in the morning, so they understood why you were leaving.
I wasn't there.
You weren't there,
so that was tough too for those 3 years or 4 years that we did Sister Circle. And so like as a mom, you get back into that space. Like I remember as soon as I got back in, I was like, I'm doing everything. Breakfast, lunch. I want to make sure that they know my presence is. I want to make up for lost time essentially, because when I was doing more, you gotta. I've been doing mornings and leaving my children
literally for decades.
Literally, I had Bailey, and I would like nurse her at 4 o'clock in the morning and give her to her daddy, and I wouldn't get back till like 11 a.m.
Where she's gone for daycare or wherever.
Exactly. Or just as soon as I walk in, when I was still nursing, I'm like full. I'm like, give it to me.
This is what I talked about before too, when I was like hustling in the wrong way or in a way that I didn't realize it was serving me at the time. My children definitely suffered.
Yeah.
They definitely
I've heard you say that.
Because I wasn't able to show up and be fully present because my mind was exhausted and at the time things that should not have been. And I didn't know how to get myself out of that. That's why I love stories of evolution.
Yeah.
You figure it out, you retweak, you maybe re-engineer, as your friend said, reinvent. So, now entrepreneurs, you want a life that you love. You want a life where you can be at your kids' events. And I feel like you're getting closer to that, right?
Oh, yeah, totally.
Because sis got a show on Tyler. I mean, go ahead and talk.
Oh, yeah.
What happened after you got fired again?
Oh, sorry.
So, there you go.
Yeah. As soon as Sister Circle ended, I get a call from my agent. Shout out to Gil Talent. Hey, when you're an actor, everybody knows what Actors Access is. They'll send an audition in the inbox, and something came up for Sisters, Tyler Perry Sisters, and I was like, oh, I would love this opportunity. Ended up getting it, right? So we go into the bubble.
I remember praying on this thing, girl.
Baby.
It was like a new and fun experience for you every single day.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, and I forgot to mention really quick. I know we're running out of time, so right after Sister Circle, Ryan Cameron, I called him. And Ryan, for those who don't know, he literally was the vessel to start my career here in the ATL. Yeah. So it was just an opportunity that presented itself right out of college, and so it started my radio career. So I called him because I didn't want him to see in the news or
you got this big opportunity.
Well, no, that I got fired from Sister Circle.
Oh,
right.
Yeah,
so I'm just gonna let go from Sister Circle, but I couldn't get in touch with him, and that's not like him to not answer. Yeah. Called his producer, found out he was very, very sick.
Oh, that was
in the hospital. Yeah. So we had got let go on a Thursday. Ryan Cameron got sick that weekend. It was Easter weekend, and I started to fill in for him on his radio show here in Atlanta that Monday. So I went from being let go to being back in radio on that Monday, filling in for him
because he was
for
ill.
6 months.
Wow, it was 6 months.
It was 6 months in my house
because it's COVID.
Yeah. Talking down the line, all of that, the new programs,
right back in the radio.
I said,
full circle, ain't a thing,
right? So I say all that to say, my producer Sam, he's the producer of Ryan's show now, Ryan Cameron Uncensored. When I got the call that I had gotten the role for Sisters, I was literally about to do a break.
Wow.
For 107.5. Literally about to do a break. It's like, I got the role. So I got the role. We went into the bubble.
Yeah.
I did radio in the bubble because I wasn't on set.
And you couldn't leave.
And I couldn't
during
leave.
that time.
But because of technology, I was able to do all of my shows in the bubble because I only had one scene, but you had to stay on campus until your scene came up.
And I know Tyler Perry had that thing laid out. She made me want to go into the bubble. I'm like, how many nasal swabs I need to just see what it's like in there, right?
That bubble was beautiful.
Yeah, like a pajama party every single day.
Yeah, it was great. It was
so
great.
Cool.
So once that was over, then another role came for a new show that was gonna be produced by Tyler Perry Studios, called All the Queen's Men. That Christian Keys, a dynamic actor, also
Rashan
writer
over
and
there
singer.
being grown, y'all.
Yeah.
She over there acting grown.
He created. It's based off his book, and then I got this opportunity to audition for a character named Miss Tandy, and I did not know.
Listen, don't you listen?
I didn't know I was gonna get the role.
I seen Tandy. That is you, baby. Listen.
I mean, it's Tandy.
That's Tandy. It's not Rashan. It's not Rashan, but listen, you play that role.
Thank you very much. I've heard that.
She leans in to that role.
I do.
I know you guys are multiple seasons in.
Yeah.
You are full on acting now.
I love it.
Plus doing your emceeing still. Your own podcast.
Yes.
As well.
I don't want to listen. I'm never going to stop. Mm-hmm. I don't know what's going to be the end for me. I don't know what's going to be the thing. I do want to. I have a dream of doing another type of talk show, but I'm going to work on that.
Yeah, it's coming. I can feel it. I can feel.
Yeah, I'm ready to.
Your TV talk show is brewing.
And not just my niche stuff that I'm doing with my podcast, which is based on men and women in Black Greek-led organizations. I just wanted my spot, like you have the Bad Entrepreneur. Like everybody needs their spot.
Niche.
It's a lot of podcasts. People just talking, and that's fine.
We love those too. Yeah, we love those too.
Honey, these babies is making money. Teach me how.
They are. Girl. If you listen in the comments, tell us because we are super niche and we are super focused, and I think again is one step being block on top of the other. Yeah. So we've got podcast. Mm-hmm. You're full on acting. Mm-hmm. I know you still get called for appearances.
I do.
We have products, right? For Cool Store products.
Cool Store products. We have necklaces. Mm-hmm. We have sweatshirts. We have T-shirts. All of those things can be found on coolstore.com. And just. As every probably entrepreneur who has come on here has said, I'm sure, I'm just figuring it out.
Still working on it. Aren't we always?
It's a daily.
It is. It is.
Process.
When you say that, when you step out there and you say, I want to make money off of my own skills and off of my own, whatever that is, Rashan's a personality, but I don't care if you're a woodworker. Mm-hmm. When you step out and put your toe in that pond, you have to be prepared for the work that comes with it.
Man.
It is daily.
It's a daily
thing. Your social media, your, responding to inquiries in a timely fashion, your invoicing, having an assistant,
all of that.
It's daily.
It is.
And still living life and being human and being a bad bitch, which is its own job. I know.
Where's my solo camera? Where is it? She's dumb. You see?
It's so hard. It's so much work. But you're crushing it. I got a question though before we go, because I always ask every boss that's on here, what was your rock bottom moment that you want to share with us, and what came out of that on the other side?
Rock bottom was when I was on maternity leave having my first child. I left hot on a Friday and I had Bailey on a Sunday. Mm-hmm. That's how committed I was to this, organization, this station. And while I was gone, like 6 weeks in, or maybe even 5, my program director called me. He was like, when do you think you're going to come back? Which is against the law to ask somebody that.
Oh, yeah, you're right. That's a big violation.
It is.
So are you going to have the kid and then come back?
Like, when are you coming back? Like, I'm like,
let me sit at home.
When I'm coming back.
I know. You didn't even know. You could have get written up for that.
Right. So the head of HR called me, said, sorry for that. He totally didn't mean to call you.
He was the wrong person. Wrong number, misdial.
So during that time, they moved the afternoon guy into my spot. Because I was the lead of the morning show, which was unheard of. A women hip-hop radio station leading morning radio. You don't hear that. You have a lot of celebrities who lead morning radio who are female, but it's not, you don't hear. Think about it. Just go down to Dow. Go down to Dow.
Go
down to Dow.
No,
exactly.
You're right.
Exactly.
We in the major market. So.
Go down to Dow. It's still very, very male dominated to this day. The women are the co-host. But
you're right.
I know I'm right.
like today years old.
Look
Holy
at it.
shit.
The thing is, research has shown that women who primarily listen to radio like to hear men's voices over women's voices.
Well, I didn't take that study. I wasn't in that survey.
Yeah, right, I know.
So that's interesting.
It's traditional.
But, okay, so the challenges
data.
of women in radio.
Right, that. So when I did come back, I was like, okay, well, I'm going to get my spot back, right? Okay.
Yeah.
He can go back to afternoons and I can have my spot back, right?
Yeah.
The program director took us out to lunch, to breakfast. And he was like, this young man is going to be leading all the breaks from here on out. And you're going to kind of support him. And I said, my response was, we wouldn't be having this conversation if I had a penis. There was no rebuttal because I was right. Now, I went to my... I know, but that's it's a scientific term.
Yeah. It's true.
So I went to my uncle, who was a big labor attorney here.
Okay.
And I said, is this a pregnancy discrimination case? Like, could I prove this? He was like, you absolutely have a case.
Wow.
But do you want this case to follow you for the rest of your life or the rest of your career? Because it'll be like, Rashan Ali, $1 million lawsuit. Yeah. She won $850,000, but she sure did sue a woman-owned business.
Yeah, and you'll be blackballed for every, That's a terrible
decision to make.
Just talking about that out loud just feels icky.
Yeah. So that was a dark place to actually watch someone else sitting here lead my show for an entire year.
Damn. And I
stayed.
Yeah.
That particular program director got let go. The new one came in and switched it back immediately because I was gifted. I was good.
Yeah.
I was everybody's homegirl.
Like, you cool.
Like, it'd be cool, like, if I was like, oh, yeah, he way better than me. But he was.
It's my show.
And I love him. And I've talked about this out loud. I'm sure he's heard it several times because it's a part of my story.
Yeah.
It's part of my, that was a dark place.
And you ain't gonna let that happen again, though.
Hell no.
Right? So, like, we tight on contracts, right?
We tight on contract, but I'm tight on my life because nobody's gonna put me in a box.
Amen.
Try to control me like that. I got people in place to look at things, to do things.
Amen.
You know, I have an agency for my acting. I have an agency for my marketing and all of these things.
Fancy.
Television. Yeah, I ain't trying to look at that. I'm a talent. What is this? How many years in the I'm gonna hire somebody. Get your commission, baby, and make sure it's right. Listen.
You saying all the things that I be preaching on every single episode. Well, yes, and honestly, like you stumbled enough and failed enough with lack of a manager, with lack of the accounting, with lack of whatever you need to know better.
Yeah.
And for all entrepreneurs, the point of the show is when you know better, you do better.
Yes.
And you should be getting better always. We're trying to get better together. So leave everybody with one tip or anything that you would like to share on how they can be better in their small business.
Oh my goodness.
Whether they're a personality or nail tech.
Damn, that's a weighted question.
It's too weighted?
It's not weighted because the whole interview been advice.
Well, fine, y'all. Hustle and flow. Remember to meditate every day.
No. I think our thing is, with entrepreneurship, people want us to be great all the time. I just feel like we have to continue to give ourselves grace as well.
Yeah.
Just give yourself grace.
I know your identity is up in there, but you got to give yourself grace.
You do.
Yeah.
And know that you're doing something different. And even if it doesn't work, being in corporate, a lot of these things that we have in life wouldn't exist if we didn't have people that worked in corporations as well.
You better keep that job, is what she's trying to say. It's okay if you actually go back to work.
It's okay. You have not failed. You have not failed. And if you want to try it again,
do it. Just to be smarter.
Just be smarter the next time.
Try your best.
Listen,
yes.
And one thing I always say in all of my interviews and my speeches, if God, universe, source, Jesus, Allah, whoever you subscribe to, or if it's just you and your yogi, if it's on your heart, how dare you not try? It's so many people sitting in offices that are waiting for what's already there. So
they're too scared.
If you gotta go back, if you leave, you try, you gotta go back.
Yeah.
One of my makeup artists from a long time ago, her name is Donna. She said, Rashan, what's 1 times 1? I said 1. She said, once you've done it, you've done it. It's your decision to go back and forth and do it. But do it better. If you want to do it another time, do it better.
Yeah.
But if you say, you know what, I had a business. It was good.
It was cool.
It was good.
We had a good time.
Exactly. I don't know what Cool Store is gonna be. I don't know if it's like gonna be a lifetime
$100 million thing or
Sporty Girls. You could have never told me my nonprofit would be on hiatus right now. I don't even think about Sporty Girls, and I know
that's okay though, Rashan.
Pardon me, because I did not do it.
Oh, there was a
alone.
whole team for sure.
Indelible marks on young women's lives, and they tell me that to this
young
day.
swimmers and young
yes,
for
to
sure,
this day,
for
to
sure.
This day. But that chapter right now is I got a bookmark in it.
And again, Rashan, that's okay.
It sure is.
I don't think that we don't give ourselves enough grace. So y'all heard that advice from my sister, Rashan Ali. This has blessed my soul.
This was great.
Thank you.
This was fantastic.
I'm glad this was so much fun.
It was.
Do you mind telling the people where you are,
sure,
how to find you, etc.?
Yeah, you can find me everywhere. I'm at Rashan Ali on all social media platforms. That's my website, which you can click. I mean, everything is there. Also, if you're interested in coolsoror.com as well. And it's not just for people who are in fraternities and sororities. Again, that's where I needed my own lane. But these stories inspire. You'll be moved. It's not all like, did you step? Did you step? No. No, it's not that. Because a lot of people are like, is it for me? Of course it's for you. It's content because everybody has a story.
Everybody has a story.
Everybody has a story. And your story can help someone else.
Yeah.
Your story can help someone else.
And she didn't share with you guys, but you can also find her on All the Queen's Men.
You sure can.
Right?
On BET Plus. Yeah. I think we're on VH1 now, too. I think season 2 is on VH1.
She's dropping dimes, y'all. Okay, that she's on multiple premium channels, you know. We love you. We love you, Rashan. Thank you so much, y'all. This has been another episode of the Bad Entrepreneur Podcast. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, follow everywhere the podcasts are available, and on Instagram at I Am Lauren Powers. Mwah. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Entrepreneur Podcast. After all, we can't run from my past. Talk about it. Bad Entrepreneur Podcast. Talk about it.